Hi, it's December the 4th and apparently I'm dressed like a Bond villain. Well, I did put Coke in a very good Ardbeg yesterday, so clearly I'm not the hero of this piece. This is 3 Men and a Whisky, and I can promise no 1980s style product placements today, because the movie and whiskey we have are two true modern classics, or at least some people would say so. So yesterday I was pretty disappointed by a movie starring a world famous comedian as an elf, which means today I need to try and right the wrong by watching a different movie starring a world famous comedian as an elf. I will be honest with you, this particular movie I have not seen, which is shame on me because it is considered one of the greats. I hadn't realised it's 21 years old, which still for me classifies it as a modern classic if that is the case, because 21 years isn't that long ago really, and it's still in this century. I am of course talking about the movie Elf, starring Will Ferrell. Why haven't I seen this film? If I'm honest with you, it's because I'm not particularly a fan of Will Ferrell. Don't get me wrong, he is a great comedian. He is very, very funny. But in the past, I've tended to prefer him when he's being a side character. Earlier in his career when he was doing things like Mugatu in Zoolander, which I genuinely think he steals the show. But was it Mustafa in the Austin Powers films? Only a really tiny role, but absolutely hilarious. I know he's really funny. It's just whenever he leads a film, I tend to feel it's just a bit too much and he kind of takes all the oxygen out of everyone else. Having said that, I can't really do a Christmas movie list without including Elf, because it is considered by many one of the absolute greats. It is a contemporary classic. Some people would put it on the top of their Christmas movie list. Not entirely sure who, but hey, I'm here to be convinced that I may be wrong. And from a whiskey perspective, I thought I'd try another modern classic, and that is an Arran. And Arran is one of those distilleries that has been around not that long, and yet it feels like they've been around forever. And yeah, they were only founded in the 1990s, and yet I can't imagine a world without where Arran Distillery doesn't exist, because it is so good. I've been to many tastings with Arran, and it's guaranteed I always come away with a bottle or two. They have a very distinctive style and do some fantastic limited editions and small batch bottlings and things like that. And that is the one that I'm going to be trying today. It is a small batch, a 13-year. Matured in port pipes. So my first port influenced whiskey. I've been pretty heavy on the sherry so far, and this one, it just felt like it was time to move into the port side of things, particularly as I kept going on about cheese yesterday. Don't know how cheesy Elf is as a film. I'm sure it is a little bit. Probably not as much as Santa Claus the movie was. So but we will see. So yeah. Got this, really looking forward to having some more of this. I've only had a little bit of it so far. Glasses all ready, movie's ready to go. So, I'll see you in a few minutes. So, how did that go? Well, I will admit that I am, or can be, a bit of a cynic. I can be a bit of a harsh critic as well, particularly when it comes to movies. But even though I am quite critical, bit of a cynic, quite stubborn in my middle age, I can admit when I'm wrong. And was I wrong when I prejudged Elf, starring Will Ferrell? Prejudged it for 21 years? Yeah, I was. It's a lovely film. It's a really good film, a good comedy. Will Ferrell is not as OTT as I've seen him in various other things, which is a blessing in my mind. Again, some people might disagree. It's a little weaker in the midpoint, in the middle of the movie, but again, that's okay because it's building towards something, and because the payoff ultimately is superb. You know, the final 10-20 minutes really got me here. Ultra sentimental, a lovely little, you know, lovely little story about the, you know, the spirit of Christmas. What does it all mean? And that's what it's all about, right? You know, we're not reviewing movies that are supposed to be, you know, the greatest movies of all time. We're reviewing Christmas movies, and as Christmas movies go, it was bloody good. It really was very enjoyable. It's not made me want to go and watch loads more Will Ferrell movies, but I'll give him this one. Absolutely superb. The rest of the cast, you know, were fine. They didn't really have that much to do in comparison to everyone else in there, but in comparison to Will Ferrell in there, and that's okay. Yeah, really good. What can I say? Did not see that coming. I stand corrected. What would I give it out of out of my 12 Days of Christmas? I'm going to do something I really didn't think I was going to do with Elf, and I'm going to give it 10 Lords of Leaping, which puts it on par, technically, with Scrooge, one of my favourite childhood Christmas movies. And if you'd asked me on December the 1st whether I thought a film starring Will Ferrell would be up there with a film starring Albert Finney, I would probably have shown you the door. So, shows what I know. On the whiskey front, how did I feel about the Arran? Again, you know, I started this video talking about contemporary classics, modern classics. I've accepted that Elf is absolutely one there. I already knew that Arran was a contemporary classic in terms of distilleries, and this one really is. It's a lovely port matured whiskey. Lots of really great you know, flavors that you'd expect from a port matured whiskey. You know, like get those kind of red fruits, red berries kind of stuff coming through. Great nose. You know, that's one of the best things. I've actually saved a little bit of it still, so I could do it for the video. And yeah, the nose is great. This is one of the reasons why, as much as I love my peaty whiskies, I much prefer nosing non-peaty whiskies, because I just think you get so much more. You know, the peat, the smoke doesn't overpower things. Not to say I don't like the smoky ones, but this is really why I love whiskey in the end. A chance to nose something that's so complex, it's got so many different things. Every time you nose it, you get something a little bit different coming through. And again, on the taste, on the palate, that signature Arran taste, you know, it's just there. But with that added, you know, kind of red dark berry fruitiness that comes with something that's been port matured. So yeah, superb whiskey. A little bit more about Arran. They, you know, I've been calling it Arran Distillery all the way through this video. Of course, it's not Arran Distillery. Arran single malt is made at Lochranza. Arran Distillers do own now another distillery called Lag on the south coast, and that's their peaty spirit that they make there. That's also a phenomenal dram. They've got a few bottles, a few expressions of that out now, and that's a really good one if you're after something with a bit of Arran peatiness in there. So yeah, super whiskey. You can still pick this up at stockists and things. I bought this, I think, this year at one of the Arran tastings I went to. So, you know, by all means, give this one a go if you want to go off my recommendations. And what would I give it? What score? Definitely an 8. Might be edging to 8.5. I wasn't planning to do 0.5s in these scores, but apparently I now am. So yeah, 8.5 for that one. And yeah, super. So there we go. After a little bit of a disappointment yesterday, we've hit back with 2 high-scoring events. Great whiskey, super unexpected Christmas movie to really kick things off properly now as we move towards the middle of December. So yeah, awesome. I will see you tomorrow. Cheers.